So it's the beginning of the new year, and along with starting the new year off with a lot of ideas and projects that I have in my mind, I like to start the year off with reorganizing my room, um, getting things a little more decluttered, and moving things around. So that's what this video is about. Join me as I just do some tidying up and some cleaning. And I'll give you some tips at the end about how I clean my cutting mats and how I clean my machine. Stay tuned. Oh, and if you're new to the channel, welcome. If you have been staying with me, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. I appreciate you so much. when I clean my machine, I turn it off, I unplug it, and I get out the Q-tips. And I also have, I bought myself a pack of really cheap paintbrushes. And between the two of them, I really like how they can get into the grooves to get the dust out. And I was working on a flannel quilt, as you know, for my son, and flannel just gets everywhere. So whenever you're working with flannel, stop at least halfway between, if not, 3 times, depending on how big your project is, to clean the machine. Because dust is your machine's worst enemy. So you start on top and work your way down. And I just get in there with this little brush, poke around in there, get the dust loose. Then I take my Q-tip and I, excuse me, dig around in there. Dust is getting in my throat because the dust clings to it. And I go through quite a few Q-tips when I clean my machine. Yeah, see that? Just root around in there. You're not going to hurt anything. I probably go through about 10 Q-tips. If I just finished up a project like this one, because of the flannel, and I did stop halfway between finishing it to clean it, but flannel just gets in there, gets into all the crevices. So just don't be afraid to root around in there and and get in there. Read your instruction manual to refresh yourself on how to clean, your machine. Get inside all the little crevices, because as you dust from top to bottom, it's going to fall down underneath. So do the inside of the cover of the bobbin area, do underneath. I mean, it just gets, flannel just gets everywhere. I get out my oil. Oops. Now, my oil, if I just lightly turn it, you can see it come down the nozzle, and you just need a little drop. And just get in there. Because the oil will attract dust. and it'll get the dust that the first round did not get. Don't be afraid to like get in there and really wipe. See what I mean? Okay, so we're going to do it again. There we go. Oop. Dust is your machine's really worst enemy. It really is. And you should take your machine in at least once a year. If you can't, every other year. See, that's just from the top. It's just from the top. I don't know if that's flannel in there. Not sure. Let me get it out of there. It just gets gunked up, you know? I'm gonna do this one more time because that's enough. Get in there one more time. Okay, do underneath. This is all full of dust. All full of dust. All full of dust. I almost wish I had like a little tiny, little mini vacuum cleaner to go, you know, and suck everything up. But I don't. I don't. Last. Check in there. Yeah, see? Okay, now I'm going to take this one, has a wider head. I'm just going to do a quick dust just to get anything loose out of there. Get this all the way up. Get anything loose out of here. Anything loose. It all gets in there. See? Here's another one. This is a good one. Get in there. all this dust out of the cover from the top. Just don't be afraid, you know, to get in there. The more dust you get out of there, the better your machine works. Get in there. Okay. Dust off your bobbin. Okay. Okay, now this is the, oh gosh, what's this called? The bobbin shank. This is a Bernina. So I'm dusting this off, and you have to be careful because that point right there, oh, I've cut myself on that. It hurts. It hurts, it hurts. You can put a little dot of oil on there too to clean that. Now, getting it back in place is not easy because if you don't put it in place properly, your bobbin will not engage and you'll have a problem sewing. Okay. Follow the instructions on your manual. All right. One last little brush. Okay, I'm going to put the needle back on. I just changed this needle out not too long ago. Now, the front is dusty. The bottom gets dusty. You know, it all get in here. This all, I should have done that first, sorry. Okay. Thread. I want to use up this thread. You know, we can, it's easier to thread it when there's no presser foot on there. Oh, can I do this without the light? Let's see. I can. So, also, don't forget to brush underneath your throat plate. Okay? Gets dusty too. Okay, dust off your presser foot. Here we go. Plug it back in. There we go. Coffee. Coffee break. So, that is sort of the end of the year, beginning of the year, a little bit of cleaning and reorganizing and tidying up. And I try to do that about every 3 months, 2-3 months. I should do it more often than that. The floor should get swept at least every 2 weeks because the cutting of the fabric, that cotton gets in the air, it settles on your table, it settles on the floor, you breathe that in, and then you start with the sniffles. Several years ago, when I used to work part-time at Joann Fabrics, whenever I was assigned to the cutting table, I made sure I had water with me. And because we all would get so dry, our eyes would be dry, our mouth would be dry, and plus you're talking a lot to the customer. So it's just something to keep in mind for you. The more often you sweep your floor, the better it is on your sinuses and your breathing. So if you have issues with sinuses or breathing, and you're quilting, you know what you have to do to protect yourself. You know your situation. Whatever you need to do for your situation, keep that in mind. Always keep yourself healthy. You know, we want to enjoy our craft, you know. I'm not done. I still have a corner over here to finish up and the desk over there to finish up. I rearranged the room again back to its original setting. I don't know if you've been watching the program for very long, but the table, I've had the table in two different positions, one long ways and one across the room. I like it better across the room with the ironing board against the window because the outlet is right under the window, and it's easier for my iron cord, where if I have the iron on this wall, there's no outlet on that wall or the wall behind me. So I have to run the cord across the room with an extension. It's just a little dangerous. I don't like it. It makes me a little fearful that as I'm walking back and forth to where I'm sitting, the cutting table and so on and so forth, that I'll trip and or knock over my iron and break it. That's happened before. So this setup with the ironing board against the front window and the table, also with the table being here, it's closer to proximity of the ironing board, so it's easier for me to get up and down to do the ironing. Anything that makes it more comfortable for you between your sewing station, your cutting station, and your ironing station. Any setup that makes it comfortable for you. Try a couple different layouts, do some sewing, and you'll find out very quickly which layout for you works better. Do what works for you. Try out some different layouts for yourself for the new year, 2025, to see what's comfortable for you. This was just a little impromptu video, cleaning, tidying up, dusting, wiping down the mats. Also, let me show you what I use to wipe down my mats. I use a microfiber cloth, and I only use it, I designate it for the sewing room. I don't use it in any other area of the house. I don't use it in the bathroom, the kitchen, the living room. This one is only for this room. So when I wash this, I wash it separate from my other towels and rags so I don't get it mixed up. This one has a lot of dust on it because I've been cleaning since before I turn the camera on. It's fairly large. I got these at Dollar Tree, and they come in the car section. I think they consider them car cloths for cleaning. It's microfiber cloth that works great for just general dusting, and I don't put anything on the rag. And I use it on my cutting mats, and that really helps get a lot of that cotton dust off the mat. The mats should be wiped after every big project. If you have a couple small projects you're working on, that's fine. You can wait in between every other one. But every big project, you should be wiping down your mat and also turning it over to use both sides of your mat. There's a reason why the manufacturer gave you two colors. So the dark side of the mat is for cutting light colors, and the light side of the mat is for cutting dark colors so that you can see better. They've taken that into consideration so that you can see better and make the cutting experience more comfortable for you on your eyes. So this is what I use. It works for me. I like it. And as far as the cleaning my machine goes, regular Q-tips, and then I bought a pack of paintbrushes that you can get at the Dollar Tree or a craft store. They're just kids' paintbrushes, and the longer they are, the more I can get in there to move that dust out. Anything to move the dust out. And then use whatever oil is appropriate for your machine and read your manual carefully. It will give you tips on the proper way to clean your machine. So, and you should clean your machine in between projects. If it's a big project, clean it halfway between, or if it's flannel, you might have to clean it 2 or 3 times. Yeah, flannel just gets into every little nook and cranny. So my name's Angela Davis. Thanks for joining me today on this little impromptu cleaning, sweeping, organizing for the beginning of the new year, to start out the new year right. I hope you're having a great day. You have a great week. I'm Angela Davis. I'm the 4M Quilter. And remember, why sleep when you can sew?